Hello everyone, I'm Ani Rao, and I am a assistant professor from Hong Kong UIST. And this work is done when I was a postdoc at Stanford with JP and Manish. So script writing is actually the first step in professional video pipeline. It is the process of developing a blueprint that will be turned into a visual story. It is also a creative process that goes beyond writing text, which mainly focus on the dialogue scene. So creators often begin by brainstorming, and then write stories down in a text-only interface with visual elements in their minds. Script writers often mentally visualize scenes as they write them to envision how visual attributes of the setting and characters might affect the tone, atmosphere, and the character interactions. They use mental visualization to adjust the script to produce a more visual blueprint for the film. So to help script writers, we develop ScriptViz is to provide external visualization to aid their script writing. So based on the MovieNet datasets that I previously built, it first preprocesses the datasets and retrieves scenes according to users' input. And it's based on two types of control on visual attributes that enable writers to see exactly what they want with fixed visual attributes and also see variance in uncertain elements. And it then retrieves images for each script dialogue sequence. So its design ideas contain three parts, leveraging existing movies, dialogue-aligned visualization, and attributes control. So we recontextualize scenes from existing movies as is informed by the montage theory, which poises the arrangement of shots and can thus support different narrative purpose. It can also overcome the consistency problem of using generative AI for script visualization, as it inherits the consistency followed in movies. So here is an intuitive example on my own scripts about a man having an adventure at his bathrooms. So I made my own drawings and also spent a lot of time using the AI that I developed called AnimateDiff to create something with my co-author's face. So from the comparison, we observed that in the second scene of the scene 2, the man took out a toy, but the video generation model fails to understand it. And in the next set of shots, the generative AI accumulates errors until the audience or the users give up to understand it, while the manual creation can ensure seamless continuity and coherence. So the second design is ScriptViz associate each line of dialogue with a corresponding frame featuring the relevant character, which mirrors the classic cinematographic techniques and helps play out the scene. And we also offer fixed and variable control on attributes that script writers commonly use, like place and character genders, age, etc. So the fixed attributes ensure that the visualization remains true to the writer's vision and help play out a scene. For example, in this case, or a living room. And conversely, variable attributes open the door to different possibilities, encouraging writers to explore various scenarios, like in this case, different gender settings for these two characters. So besides the above design ideas, one key factor in the implementation is to improve the recognizability of the visualization. Since close-up shots and medium shots are widely used in movies, randomly picking a frame from a random shot in a scene may produce a frame whether recognizable is of the location are occluded or unclear. So we compute the clip visual text similarities between the scene setting text and the visual frames to acquire recognizability scores of setting scores, and also detect the front face for the recognizability scores for the cast for each frame. So comparing to the baselines that remove the recognizabilities and average sample frames from the scene, the ScriptViz can produce clear images on the qualitative results, and the quantitative results on 1,000 samples also indicate that our preprocessing methods can successfully retrieve clear frames of established shot and characters. So we further develop an interface for this. It consists of 4 parts. User type in the scripts in a standard format and add contributes control in the SQL format and click the submit button. And then the ScriptViz will provide visual outputs from different movie scenes, where each containing one established shot, showing the setting, and also images for each line of dialogue in the script. So let's consider a scenario that the scriptwriter wants to write two people having an argument at the restaurant using our interface. The writers can use the interface to type in fixed attributes on places such as the restaurants, but the scriptwriter is not clear about other settings. So the writers want to characterize Bob as a confident and slightly arrogant, particularly in his interactions with Alice. So after considering various settings presented by the visualization, the writer opted for a nighttime ambience, establishing the scene's tones and in contrast to the conflicts unfolding among characters. So this choice also inspires the additions of a reaction sentence for Alice. So the tool can, through an iterative way, to help the writers to see what they want and also to see variable for open the doors for different possibilities. So here is another practical case of a scriptwriter write a main character Dave who is irritable, trapped in the desert. The scriptwriter has a few sentences in her mind as shown in the top. She wants to choose the appropriate setting on the time of day and other characters' genders at the beginning of her creation. So by setting this as a variant attributes, she sees different visualizations in 3 rows, and she prefers the third one, because she thinks the night view better reflects the characters' bad situations, because the characters encounters is very tired for a whole day, and also the dead tree behind strengthens these tensions. And also, this changes her script by adding details in the bottom. So the visualization helps to add more details for the scriptwriters to add to his script to better reflect characters' desperate situations. Here is another case. So scriptwriters write really an argument theme between a couple, Alice and Bob. Initially, she set the scenes at nighttime at a restaurant, but she wants to write Bob, right? Is characterized as confident and shown by his interactions with Alice. However, she's still not satisfied about the atmosphere. She then realized, because Alice and Bob already know each other, so why not set in a conflict in a more intimate or casual setting, like home? So he changed the settings from the dining room to their own a house, and then he also changed the script accordingly from order food to cook food. As a metaphor for Bob invading Alice's kitchen. And in the third sentence, Alice also directly expressed her unhappy feelings by stressing, oh, this is my kitchen. So the tool is verified by scriptwriters in Hollywood and China. It helps them to reach their goals faster via iterative improvements. So here are the questionnaire results, which also shows that the ScriptViz is better in terms of the writing support, system performance, script layout, and the visual dimension expansion over the baselines. So in the future, we also hope could expand the tool's generative capabilities to address and offer more visualization explorations on scriptwriters their favorite sequence, such as changing the facial expression or changing the scene setup. So this is the end of my talk. If you are also interested in this direction, please contact me, and I have openings in my lab for PhD and master students. So thanks everyone for listening.
All right, are there any questions? We have about 5 minutes for Q&A for this.
I'll ask a question. Jeff Nichols from Apple. I'm curious if you could talk a little bit about the differences in role between the screenwriter and the director and how that interfaces here, because it seems like you've got the script, but then you're using real scenes from real pictures where the director, some of that responsibility presumably would fall on the director later. And so I'm curious how you keep that split out and keep too much stuff that really should be the director's role from leaking into the script.
Yes. You may referring to, this is kind of like a pipeline, but this is for animation videos. So the script writer is actually like the first step up here. The director always say sometimes the video makers is actually in charge of, every aspect, every component, in the final video. But the script is basically focused on the dialogues itself. It does not in charge of the characters' clothes or their exact settings or their performance. This is not the job for script writer. Script writer is just the first step, even before the visualization, right? Before it turning into visual elements, and it's kind of like planning all this. Because a lot of video pre-production tools is basically serving for communications, right? At the very beginning, you may use this script to hire actors, or you want to find some investment. So this is like the scope for script. Yeah.
I guess I saw in some of your examples where it seemed like there's a lot of visual detail in the script, which seemed like maybe a little more than you would normally.
Yeah. So this tool is actually to provide, the visualizations, because to help the script is still for the script to refine their script, because this is coming out from our motivations, right? Like in traditional or in the existing script writing process, people already imagine or do these mental visualizations in their head. They will embody themselves in the characters they created. They will imagine how they speak to each other, right? But sometimes still, this mental visualization might be limited, right? So they want to have some external visualization to help them can refining their script. So this is the scope that we want.
Great. Yeah, this is great work. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Conson Lee from University of Maryland. Great talk, and it was very interesting in the way that you chose a specific interface. Again, I had a quite similar question to help scriptwriters and not directors to give them more agency, I guess. But basically, I was wondering if you ever got some feedback from the writers that visualizing like these were conversely kind of preventing them to be really imaginative about some thoughts, because I would think that they had a certain character in mind, and visually seeing some differences, obviously because they are based from an actual movie, would kind of make them change the way they think the scenario should be in a negative way.
Yeah. Thanks for the question. Yeah, it actually depending on the goal or the stage of in this video production. Actually, what you are saying for the specific details of characters, it's actually in some video production pipeline. It may code in another step called the character designs, right, or the costume designs, right, to design the clothes for the characters. So, but here specifically, the script we are targeting is basically for the plot. So the visualization is also serving for the plot, right? So this is the assumptions that we have here. Yeah, but definitely, I think in our future work we said, sometimes, right, people may also want to see more possibilities. So probably in the futures, incorporating some generative AI tools, like you said, right, to change some costumes, change some things, that may be good. But I think here the key issue we want to address is always about the consistencies. Because if you use generative AI, usually it's accumulating errors, from among different shots.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thanks. Let's thank Professor Rao again. Please, come back at the poster session.